What's up, everybody? It's me, at True Star Screamer, and we are here with another episode of Tales from the Backlog. We've got here the G.I. Joe Breaker figure and Ram cycle. This has been out for over a year. I've had this guy in a box over a year, and trying to get through this backlog, trying to get these things set up, and so I figured might as well open one of these up. Yes, that's right, I did buy multiples. I've actually got two of these, and I've got the Duke on the way. So I've already got three of these coming to me, whether I love it or not. So how can I put this? Was this worth the... Was I all excited and everything after a year of it? Well, you're gonna have to watch this video to find out. And if you like this video, if you like my other videos, make sure to give us a like. If you haven't seen my other videos, go check out the channel. That button's down there below. Hit that subscribe button. We're doing reviews, we're doing overviews, we're doing commentaries, we are doing customizations. If you haven't seen one of my customizations, the John Constantine and the Azrael Batman, some of my favorite videos, really. I love those. The Breaker and Ram cycle is a very basic set. I think I owe Dusty a further apology when it comes to basic figures. And that's a great way to describe all this. This absolutely does enough, though it does leave me wanting more. It's like trying hummus for the first time. Kind of bland. It's got something there that still makes you happy you had it, but you kind of want a little more. And I highly recommend either a spice-aged sriracha chili or garlic, by the way. All goes well with it. I'm looking at this right now as a whole because, one, this is how I would be displaying it. If I was looking at this as the individual components, yeah, this would be lacking. Because what I'm holding is everything we get. Again, there's other video reviews out there. T-Man978 has a fantastic one. I do recommend it if you haven't already seen it. So we're not going to go over everything, but this is it. You get the Ram cycle and you get the figure. No backpack, no weapons, no alternate heads, which, let me tell you, if this guy had come with an alternate head, oh my god, it would totally make this as a troop builder, because his body is as generic as it gets. We'll talk about that in a moment, but we're still going to kind of go over the features of the bike. It's got a working steering wheel, which is great. We've got the cannon here, which has an odd gimmick. Well, let's actually just go ahead and get to this. So this is kind of like a sidecar. It's got a wheel on here, which is nice, so when you have it all together, he stands just fine. This is removable most of the time. Just pegs right in there. And it does have, but if you are displaying it without the sidecar, can't see why you would though, it does have a very nice kickstand that he holds. It's a great kickstand. It's actually the same one that was on the coil cycle. As far as shared parts from the coil cycle, it also has the same handlebars, which I got no problem with that. And I think that's about it. Put that back in there. We'll plug this back on. I like the tampos. I really do. Well, I love and hate them because these are really well positioned, though the American flag here is starting to chip off a little. The problem with these tampos is they are so well done, I don't want to do a full paint job on them because there's no way I'd be able to replicate these even with wet slides. Because I would love to have some more color in here. I might still try to get in here and get some silver paint on the shocks. Definitely would like to get some silver on the chain. I've done this before on a previous figure, the Black Widow, and we'll kind of get into... I will be doing a comparison with that because that bike has some features that I wish this had. The other feature, we got the sidecar here. This is, you saw earlier, this can open up, and he has the Vulcan cannon is removable. Put that on there. And believe it or not, that little bit of weight makes a difference, because as soon as I took that out, this guy wants to tip over. I might have to break out the kickstand in a second. I believe this also comes with the second roadblock, which I still have to open. The gun barrel does rotates. He's got handles here. There's a slide here, that, so as if there was a mount for it, which may come with other figures or vehicles. And that's it. I definitely would love to get some more paint on here. Some gunmetal silver, even on the barrels. Some burning on, some kind of, gunfire burn on there would be nice. You've got holes here, so you can put effects on here, which you would just be putting a gunfire effect on the top one. I mean, the rotating is nice, but there's no real reason to be doing that. So this, I think, may go to the paint shop eventually. And put it in. You literally just slide this in there and put the panel on it. Now, it makes me wonder if this was designed to take other weapons, aside from the Gatling gun, or if we'll see other versions of it, just because of how there's still open space here. I don't know. No paint. Again, would love some paint or weathering on here. This does roll like a champ, though, when all together. And that's basically it. Let me take the breaker off the bike. Which, you want to heat the hands up first. These hands are tight to fit in the handlebars. There we go. Again, all this plain plastic here. If you ever saw my Black Widow Rider series, she had this black engine block, and I took silver all to this. This almost looks like the same one. And I think a little bit of color would really make this pop. I mean, when this guy came out, he was for $40. And, I mean, while this is cool, I don't know if I see all $40. So let's set this aside for a second and take a look at Breaker. And he is, again, your basic Joe. Thighs are a little tight here. I don't know if I want to pop these legs off and Dremel out the hip joint, just so it's not as tight. His helmet is removable. And that's it. He comes with his helmet. His face sculpt's nice. But no sidearm, no knife, nothing. No backpack. I mean, this guy would look this would be a perfect contender to have the same type of backpack that Outback or Dusty has, where you can have a rifle on there, a leg holster. I mean, again, for $40, you're not getting anything. I mean, the helmet's nice, but at least if I gotten a helmet, like a motorcycle helmet, I could have another face, use this as a troop builder, which, well, I will break out the Baroness for a second to do a comparison here. So here is the coil bike and Baroness, and here is the Ram cycle. We'll take Baroness off. And we'll do some apples to apples here. The coil cycle is larger. Coil cycle has red, black, and silver, and here I've got basically black and green, and that's it. Both have tampos, and that's about it. Coil cycle, it's got these two guns on the side that are removable, that can also be held, even though they got the peg on it. I mean, this looks like a crazy sci-fi vehicle. And this looks like a very good realistic vehicle. I mean, this by design is a good bike. Now you look at the figures they come with. I got Breaker and the helmet. Here we get the Baroness, who has her weapons belt, a dagger, 2 pistols, the weird snake gun. Technically the glasses are removable, and she had an alternate head. You definitely got a lot more with this. Now, I do also have to say, I would rather have had the Baroness be a standalone figure and gotten some kind of biker Viper, personally. You know, some kind of other generic troop builder, because I've got I bought 2 Baronesses with coil bikes, and I was able to find a 3rd coil bike just without a figure. Because I wanted to have like a little fleet of vehicles. I've got 2 Breakers, and he is generic enough. If I can find some way to either find a substitute head or even just paint this beard differently. Cool. This is a great green shirt trooper. But you get nothing. Again, no pistol, no backpack. I don't know, for the amount of money. I want a full $20 figure with a $20 bike. This is like, I don't know, $15 figure. That is not a $25 bike, if you know what I'm saying. But let's do some bike comparisons. I know we went over the details, but again, here is the ram and the coil. Bigger wheels, more color, more toyetic, more realistic. As far as their aesthetics go, I mean, they're both fine, but again, you're definitely getting more for your money with this. Now, this was one of my go-tos. This is a Mesoto bike I picked up, I think, at Target or Walmart a couple years ago. Just a 112 scale dirt bike. This thing cost me like, at the time, maybe 10, 12 bucks. I think now they sell them for 15 or 20. You get a little more color. I love the fact I had a shock absorber on this, and I mean, for what it is, this was a great bike, and these two scale very well together. So I could give this to Snake Eyes or Flint, or if I ever found a black one to give to Snake Eyes, maybe even give this to Storm Shadow. Now, this was the comparison I really wanted to make. This was one of the first Rider Series bikes from Marvel Legends with the Black Widow, and I actually do have a review for this I made years ago, which, you know, before anyone was even watching my stuff. Now I think 3 people are watching my stuff. I really liked this. I loved this when I got it, and the Black Widow figure was basic, but she again had, she came with pistols, and she had an alternate head. So still more than what I got with Breaker. The bike itself, I did end up painting the engine block. I remember painting the chain. This also has a working suspension. I want to point that out. And, you know, yeah, sure, I could clean off the Black Widow symbol. This is another fantastic bike. This would actually work very well for a Cobra cycle, or even something for the Joes to drive. This is kind of the standard I hold Hasbro bikes to. And even the tires here are soft rubber. These are hard plastic. But I don't think Hasbro's ever going to do any more Rider series for Marvel Legends, which is a shame too, because they had some really good bikes. Now, I did not go too much into Breaker here, because one, there's enough reviews out there that if you're really curious about him, about 100 other reviewers have gone into it, but he's your basic G.I. Joe fare. I've got him here with the Vulcan cannon here for a couple reasons. One, to show he can do it, but 2, I actually really don't like this. I know that sounds weird, but this gun comes with Roadblock. Roadblock is a huge buff guy, and part of what makes Roadblock was the fact that he's a guy who can handle a gun so large that it normally needs to be hard mounted. Breaker is a hacker. Breaker is not the type of guy who would be handling a cannon like this, carrying it from the hip like Schwarzenegger in Commando. I'm sorry, that's just not Breaker. So it's neat that he can do this, but should he be doing this? No, because if this guy started firing, he'd be, bam, off to the races. But he needs to have a sidearm. I do have the Valverse weapons packs. I can, of course, give those to him, though I need to put some kind of holsters on for him. I can order one of those troop builder packs and give those to him as well. But yeah, his vest, very plain. I already own 2 of these, and like I mentioned before, I've got Duke coming in as well. I mean, Duke's got the ram cycle, but he also has his own weapons, which helps out. If I had known all this before, I definitely would have tried to wait for a closeout. You know, years later, it's a buyer beware scenario. So, can I say go out, go crazy, and hunt one of these down? Well, if you can find someone willing to sell the bike by itself, sure. And I wouldn't spend any more than 25, 30, maybe 30 for it right now, because I'm sure this will look great with a Valverse figure. But I don't know. Like I said, I can get more stuff to give him more personality, but I think at the time, Hasbro really should have given us more. So I can't say recommend, I can't say not recommend, because if you're gonna get them, you're gonna get them. I still bought Cobra, multiple Python Patrol stuff. I bought multiples of this. But I am, yeah, kinda let down. That's because, again, I hold G.I. Joe Classifieds at a very high standard. I didn't do any top 10s last year. If I had, this would probably be on my letdown list. Speaking of, do you guys want me to do a top 10? Do you guys want me to do one? I got days to do it, like 2, so I can put one together real for y'all. In fact, maybe I will. So again, hit that subscribe button. I'll see if I can get something up for you guys this season. Tell me your thoughts below if you bought him. Are you happy with your purchase? Are you like me and finding things lacking? I think I'm still gonna hit this guy with the silver pen just to give a little more life to the bike and maybe something to this gun. But yeah, until next time, you guys have yourself a safe and happy new year, and we got more things on the way. So again, hit that subscribe button, give us that like, and until next time, peace.